Good evening, Cowboy Nation and Cowboy Headquarters. It's your boy, G, the #1 Cowboy fan, Hampton, coming at you live, direct, and correct. And as you can see, I am rolling solo dolo. And let's give a big congratulations to B2 Real Harris and the birth of his brand new baby boy. B2 Real, congratulations to your brother, you and your family, man. We wish you nothing but a healthy baby boy, and hope he give y'all the blues while he's learning how to get his days and nights together, because you will be up on some late nights and early mornings. Believe me, I know. I've been there. But no, not really. But no, we want to say thank you, and everybody that's watching and following this channel, man. If you could, in the comments, please congratulate B2 Real Harris on his newborn baby boy, his little bitty baby boy. I think about 8 pounds or something. So little B2 Real Harris has entered into the world right before Christmas. Woo! So guess what, B2 Real? You got to go buy some more presents. Yes, sir. So anyway, while you doing that, man, I'm going to do this over here by myself, I guess. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that has been a part of this huddle of the Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, where we talk about nothing but cowboy talk. And if you haven't hit that notification button, please do right down below. And so you will be notified with the next video that will be posted. I had some things going through my head at the same time. I almost got some. But I want to make sure I give a shout out to B2 Real and his family, man. Congratulations, man. They're a young couple coming up, man. And B2 Real is a really, really good guy, man. I love the dude to death, him and his family. And, you know, he'll be off for a while, you know. Basically, serving his wife on hand and feet. And doing whatever he needs to do to make sure she gets back on her feet. So, shout out to you, brother. So, we're going to move on. But like I say, thanks to everybody for being a part of this huddle. And let's move right along into our Dallas Cowboys. It's getting harder and harder to report on our Dallas Cowboys, as you know. Here we are in first place, sitting at 6-7. Oh my gosh, y'all. What is going on with our Cowboys? What is going on? We have 10 Pro Bowlers on this team. 10 Pro Bowlers on this team. And we're sitting here at 6-7. You know, I have been thinking, man, and I got some notes down here that we're going to go, but I've been thinking, man, you know, we have had quite a few coaches that come through here, man. And a lot of them have been straight up bust. B-U-S-T. Bust. But I can name a few that had some qualifications. And basically knew football. Starting with Tom Landry. Tom Landry was a dynasty, and he oversaw the dynasty team in the 70s. And not to say it wasn't Tom Landry time to go, but the way he was sent on his way was terrible. Then we had Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson came in, won 2 Super Bowls. Basically, he ghost rode a third Super Bowl because that was his team in '95. Coach Gunsmoke just basically jumped on the bandwagon and rode it on in. And we know that was Jimmy Johnson's doing. Which this is another coach basically knew what he was doing. He knew football. Then we brought in old Bill Parcells, the Big Tuna. Big Tuna had some issues, but he knew football. But at the same time, him and Jerry bumped heads a lot. And that didn't work out. And then we had a slew of other coaches that came in. And then we end up with Mr. Jason Garrett. And the question is, why has Jason Garrett been with the Cowboys for so long? Well, I think we all know that question, because basically there's no backlash. There's no going against the grain. There's no my opinion or let's do this. So we've all come to realize who Jason Garrett is. Jason Garrett is a figurehead. I hate to say it. And basically being told what to do. And going back to the Chicago game, man, and watching this game, and I know it's been a while. I've been trying to gather up some information, man, something good to talk about, man. But it's nothing really good to talk about, man, when you're sitting at 6-7. Back here, what we're watching right now, man, that's the '95 Cowboys playing the Giants, and y'all know what happened in '95. We won that thing, man. It's been a long time since we celebrated. It's been a long time, and it's at the point where, man, I don't wear my Cowboys like I used to, because it's just upsetting. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I still wear my shirt, things, but you know, the excitement, man. It's 6-7. And come this Sunday at 3:30, 3:25, we have the Los Angeles Rams. Are y'all pumped? Do I look pumped? Do I look like I'm ready to go? No. Because you know why? You see this face right here, and why this face looks like it does right now? Because this is a look of uncertainty. Uncertainty. I just don't know what we're going to do. But I can tell you this, and this has been the debate. Some people want to blame the players. They say the players are the ones that got to get out there, and they the ones got to make the tackles, and they the one got to throw the ball and run the ball. True. And that is true. But this team reminds me of being on a cruise ship, and you know where you're going. You're going to leave out of Galveston, going to leave out of Miami, and you're trying to get to the Bahamas. But all of a sudden, the captain doesn't know which way to go. Oh, God, can you imagine being on a cruise and the captain doesn't know where to go and how to get there? That's what the Cowboys remind me of. We have a captain with a slew of crew members that has no clue. There's no way you can have a team this talented and be 6-7. There's no way. There's no way in the world that you can have a team this talented. Everybody, I mean, all the news reporter, all the commentators are saying the same thing. These guys have one hell of a roster. You got a $90 million running back that with what two or three rushing titles. You got a quarterback that's proven himself. You got #1 wide receivers. You got a front line, offensive front line that's been there, that's proven himself. You got a defensive line with Robert Quinn and with Michael Bennett, with D. Lawrence and the guys in the middle, Malik Collins and all these guys. We got Jalen Smith. We got Leighton Vander Esch. We got, you know, that's enough to be at least 10-2. It really is. But that's where we are, guys. That's where we are right now. You know, we're 6-7, sitting at 6-7. I'm looking at all these other teams. They're in double digits when they talk about the leaderboards in each division, and here we are sitting at 6-7. And we sit here and say, well, we still got a chance. All we got to do is just beat Philadelphia Eagles. But let me ask you this question. Do y'all really think we can get in this playoff and make a run? Now, don't judge me. I'm just saying, I'm being a realist about this thing. I mean, because basically all those teams that are leading their division, we don't match up as far as coaching-wise. Talent-wise, we match up straight across the board. And I'm going to get into some of these coaches, man. I'm going to get right on into these coaches right now because, you know, it's some things that I've been watching a few interviews. And I think I titled the last video, So Much for Talking. And I'm still right there, you know. And here we are, we're discussing about who's going to be the next coach. So it's evident that we know that Jason Garrett will not be back. And when Jason Garrett leaves, the whole staff needs to leave. But not only that, the general manager needs to leave. And that's where the problem lies, between the general manager and the owner. Now, the owner, he's a great guy. Got us the guys that we needed and got us the guys that we need to make the run. But by him having his hand in what we do on the field is what's hurting us. Basically, I see a team that's being directed by their owner. Personally, I don't really think that Jason Garrett has much to say or have much to do with the game planning. I think he's being told by Jerry Jones. And once again, we have seen Jerry Jones, once again, monk up another season. Jerry Jones. Due to the fact we should have got rid of Jason Garrett 10 games ago. And here we are with 3 games left. And we want to get rid of the kicker. And y'all know how I felt about the kicker, the special teams and everything. Well, like I say, we ranked 32nd in everything on special teams. But this kicker missed 10 field goals and left 30 points on the field. 30 points. And then we get rid of him when there's 3 games left. Who did that? Wasn't Jason Garrett. It's Jerry Jones. So that right there, my friends, basically lets me know who's calling all the shots. Jerry Jones released him. So once again, I heard one commentator say, you know, when Landry was around, man, and this was a guy, he's not a big Cowboy fan, but he's a commentator, but he was talking about the Cowboys, and what he said was, he remembered. Here comes somebody. Y'all hear that? Someone's going out my front door. Where you going, honey? Anyway, so yeah, so here we are, man. Jerry Jones has found another way to ruin another season, to ruin his Cowboys. And but anyway, but this commentator was saying, he said when Tom Landry, he remembers when Tom Landry was coaching, he remembered a dynasty team. It was a dynasty. You know, it was the stadium with the big hole in the middle. It was the Dallas Cowboys with the star on the helmets. It was Tom Landry. You know, it was everything good to talk about when the Cowboys back in the 70s. A lot of you guys don't remember, and it was. I witnessed it. I witnessed it. But since Jerry Jones, this guy said it, he said, since Jerry Jones has come to the team and bought this team, it has been a circus ever since. Nothing but drama. Ain't that right, babe?
Yep.
Nothing but drama.
Check the mail in days.
Good grief. She just not checking the mailbox in 3 weeks. Throw all of it away. I don't want none of it. But anyway, it's been cold out there. I ain't going out there checking no mailbox. But anyway, so yeah. So he was saying, you know, basically what it has boiled down to now, it has been a big circus. Nothing but drama. And it has been nothing but drama. And here we sit right now, which what's going to probably happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Dak. With Dak being a free agent in the year, more than likely they'll probably slap a franchise tag on him. He should have took the money, but then again. But I know for a fact there's teams out there looking for a quarterback. But there's also teams out there looking for coaches, which leads me to the coaching situation that we're at right now. The big name that we keep talking about, keep hearing about, is Urban Meyer. Sorry. Not ready. Lincoln Riley. Sorry. Not ready. Chris Peterson. Now, I told y'all about Chris Peterson. Chris Peterson was the coach of University of Washington. And y'all probably ask, well, what about Chris Peterson? What's so special about Chris Peterson? Well, guess what? Chris Peterson used to be Kellen Moore's coach at Boise State. Yeah, that's what I said. But don't be too surprised if you see this guy, Chris Peterson, our head coach. Why? I have no idea. but it makes sense to Jerry Jones. We got to make this wonder boy, Kellen Moore, look good, because basically Jerry Jones, you made him an offensive coordinator, in which it hasn't worked. And I mean, we're going to talk about Kellen Moore. I'm going to show you something about Kellen Moore that I found out. Kellen Moore code has been broken, and the truth has been told. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But anyway, so personally, y'all know how I feel. I say that we need to bring in Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is responsible for developing Aaron Rodgers, which, true enough, his last 2 years before he retired, or got fired rather, wasn't too good. And that was due to the fact that they never did rebuild. They stayed with an old team and they went downhill, you know. So that created a lot of problems for Green Bay. But the man does have a Super Bowl, and he knows the game. And his winning percentage is over 500. So if you don't believe me, go back and look at some tape of Mike McCarthy and his record. Pull him up. I didn't pull up all that stuff, but that's where my heart lies, is going to bring in Mike McCarthy and allowing him to bring in his coaching staff. And here's what our problem's been all this time. I remember when we brought Jason Garrett in as offensive coordinator. Then we brought in the head coach. Then we brought in the offensive lineman from somewhere else. We brought in the defensive line. Brought in the defensive coordinator from somewhere. So that in itself, that's too many philosophies on one team. You feel what I'm talking about? You feel me? So a head coach knows what he wants. He's the visionary. He knows what direction he's going. So he knows who he needs to bring in order to be successful. So this is something Jerry needs to consider. Get your hand out the pot. Move back. Stay up in the stands, up in your press box, and let the coach do what they do best. Okay? So that's how I feel about the coaching situation, man. Once again, I really do feel that we should be bringing in Mike McCarthy. If we hadn't talked to him, we better be trying to set up an interview, because there are several teams out there looking for a head coach. Could be the Chargers. Chargers could be looking for a coach. We know the Redskins. And God forbid Mike McCarthy goes to the Redskins, because we are definitely going to reap havoc. That's going to be a big told you so for the next 5 years to come if that man gets the Washington Redskins job, Mike McCarthy. Then you got the Panthers, and we know we're probably more than likely the head coach from Atlanta is probably out. Miami might be looking for a coach. Cincinnati might be looking for a coach. Cleveland Browns might be looking for a coach. So, man, if we don't get first dibs on this Mike McCarthy, man, I'm telling you, I see it. I see it coming. This Chris Peterson will be our next coach. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kellen Moore. Like I say, his code has been broken. But let's talk about Chris Richard. You know, looking at Chris Richard's interview, he talks with a lot of, aggression. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah. And everybody's held accountable. And we got to be in the right place at the right time. And we got to play downhill. We need everybody to do their job. That's Chris Richard. Get us fired up. Yeah, Chris Richard. Yeah, you the man. Question still lies to be answered. Or the question is still to be answered is who's actually calling the plays on our defense? There's cover 2, no blitz packages. We play conservative. And you know me, I always say a scared man can't win. Okay? So that's where we are. We're scared on both sides of the ball. We are. Hot boys, they trying to come with attitude, but man, when they being held back and when you're trying to rush 4 players against 6, it's not going to work. These guys are coming with a tight end, and you cannot rush 4 D linemen and expect to get pressure on the quarterback. It's not going to happen. We've been very, very, very reserved in using blitz package. Why? I have no idea. So Chris Richard, I'm sorry, but I'm not listening to you. So much for the talking. So they was interviewed, and the question was asked about the Rams, and basically here's some of the words, some of the statements he made about the Rams. He mentioned that they have multiple players, in which they do. They have multiple players on that offensive side of the ball, and He talked about their tempo and anticipating their play calling, because basically they do a lot of no huddle. But he's saying because they've seen this before, the multiple players, the tempo, and how they play at the line of scrimmage. He said, basically playing them a second time should be favorable for them. We'll see, brother. We'll see. You sit back there and play on your heels like you did last time, it's going to be another blowout. I promise you that. He also said that, our players must be better tacklers. Basically staying in tune with tackling. Then he mentioned we need to focus on doing what's right, doing what we do, and doing it well. The Rams no huddle offense, and basically how they run the no huddle. He mentioned something about you have to get to the point trying to steal hand signal. Damn, boy, that's can't believe he said that. I think he's throwing shade on them Patriots. Stealing hand signal was pretty cool when he said that. But stealing hand signal. So what he's saying is being able to look to their sideline and recognizing when they call a play what they're doing. Basically, personally, that's what watching film is about. Watching film is to see when whatever formation they're in matching up to those formations. Stealing hand signals. When I know they're in a trip, okay, I've seen several plays. It makes me wonder how often are they watching film? Anticipating stealing hand signals. No, let me see the formation. Okay, they're in that formation. We're going to run this. But he didn't say that. So he said it's not doing too much and adding effort. So he don't want these guys to do too much, looking in the back, for just basically do your job. Well, do your job. They're going to do their job, but if you're calling the wrong defensive schemes, you put them in a bad position, Chris Rashad. That's the way I see it. When you have no certain type of corner blitz, no run blitz, no twist, no stunts, and then you lining these guys back way out in the 3 gap and 5 gap, and quarterback, we made Trubisky like Lamar Jackson last week. Good grief. Who does that? Look, Trubisky? Really? Mitch Trubisky? God almighty. Well, that's another story. But anyway, so that's behind it. So basically, Chris Rashad, once again, I'm going to say this again. So much for the talking, dude. I'm tired of the talking. Tired of the talking. Let's talk about Kellen Wonder Boy more. Kellen was exposed, man. I mean, these reporters, they really was picking on this guy, and he didn't even realize what was taking place. And it's one particular reporter, black guy, man. And, oh man, it was more like, I'm your friend, but I'm gonna hang you out to dry, buddy. So he asked a question, and I kept telling you guys, I knew this is what was going on. I knew it. I knew what was going on. So this reporter asked Kellen Moore. He said, well, let me say that. He said we gotta be. Well, this is what Kellen Moore said. We gotta be consistent and find ways to score TDs. And I noticed every question that they was asking Kellen Moore, basically say, well, Kellen Moore, what do you think about this? Well, it was always a hunch of the shoulder. I always pay attention to body language. When a person, this all the time, you don't know. Hunching your shoulders. So he did a lot. He kept hunching his shoulders every time he was asked a question, like, well. So he also mentioned the running game. This is what Kellen Moore said. Kellen Moore said, the running game has been good, but we can't run a whole series of downs. The running game has been good, but we cannot run a whole series of downs. Basically saying we can't run the ball the whole series. Why not, Kellen Moore? You got a $90 million man that got 2 rushing titles, dude. Could have had 3. And you saying we can't run a whole down, a whole series? We can't? You got 2 running backs and you only use 1. You got Tony Pollard. You don't use him enough. But anyway, so yeah, that's what he said. So this is what the commentator said. Commentator asked him. The reporter asked him. He said, so, where is it at? Let me see. So he said, oh, wait a minute. Where am I at? Hold on, y'all. I got these loads. Oh, well, here we go. Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all hold tight, man. So basically, the reporter said, I'm on the next page. The reporter asked him, he said, Kellen, your first 10 to 15 plays are script. This is what the reporter said, baiting him in. He said, Kellen, your first 10 to 15 plays are script, trying to get confirmation. When things are struggling, what do you do? So he's trying to see if Kellen Moore is going to say where we adjust. We try to make adjustments. And, as the game go along. But Kellen Moore said, well, early in the game, we stay on script. I told y'all. This dude plays our script. This is not a situational coach. That's why when we saw what it was the Bears. When we came out in the third quarter, remember? And we finally got the ball back with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. The guy came out, went straight in panic mode, kept trying to throw the ball, kept throwing the ball. We kept getting 3 and out. That's why. Because his plays are script. So what that means is when he comes out in the game, on his playlist, on his play calling, or whatever you want to call it, his play sheet. Play calling sheet. First 4 plays, run, pass, run, run. Second series, pass, run, pass. Third series, run, pass, run. Not knowing regardless of the situation, that's why we saw what we saw after halftime against the Bears. Like, dude, that's why when we're in 3rd and 2, we're in shotgun, because play 28 is calling for a shotgun. And this is what we got to play. This is what we got to run. This was on tape that the man admitted that his plays are script. So the next question was asked. He said, so how is your script plays doing? He said, this was question asked, how is your script plays doing? And Kellen Moore, basically, they hanging him out to dry. He's taking the bait. He said, well, I stay focused on what I want to do. He said, well, maybe we need to script 70 plays. Man, you can't win in a league when you got your plays script, dude. Everything about football, especially in the NFL, is situational football. You need to know what to do when it's 3rd and 12, when it's 1st and 5, when it's 2nd and 19. You can't go off this chart, because that's what play number 21 says, or play 39 says. You can't do that. So he found himself in a panic mode when he came out in the 3rd quarter. So he started trying to make something up. So he said, we're going to try to move the ball. So he said, I stay focused on what I want to do. And he actually said, maybe we need to script 70 plays instead of 30. So I guess he go through the 30, he starts over again. This is the guy that Jerry Jones called a genius. And because his dad was a genius at calling plays at whatever school or wherever he coached at, that's where we are. So Kellen Moore made this statement. He said, what we do a balancing act. We sprinkle a couple of, he said, we sprinkle a couple of runs. He said, but you can't pound it and spend 7 minutes to drive it down the field. This was his words. We have a balancing act. We pass and we sprinkle a couple of runs, but you can't pound it and spend 7 minutes to drive it down the field. Why not, Kellen Moore? When you got 2 proven running backs. I say you run and sprinkle a couple of passes because your run sets up your pass, if I'm not mistaken. But he said you, and then he had the audacity to say, you will run out of time. Run out of time? Dude, are you not watching the clock? Are you not watching the yard markers? He said, you'll run out of time. What? You got 2 proven running backs. You run that ball. If they can't stop you the run, you know, and that's why you guys, when we saw what we saw against Minnesota, what we should have passed, we ran. What we saw against Buffalo, what we do? We passed when we should have. No, we ran when we should have passed, because everything is script. He said you would run out of time with a $90 million running back. Let's move on to Dak Prescott. Lord have mercy. So the question was asked to Dak Prescott, what are the preparations? Doubling down, and this is the words of Dak Prescott, doubling down on everything. Doubling down on everything. What matters is what we're doing today. Only thing we can worry about. Dak, let me say this to you once again, buddy. Sometimes you need to dwell on those things that you did in the past to make yourself better. See, your train of thought is basically put it behind me, move on. No, sometimes you have to go back and see what you did wrong in order to become better. Well, we're gonna put it behind and we're gonna worry about what's happening today. Okay, that's your attitude. Good. He said we can't continue to worry about things in the past. But he also mentioned we got to get a win. We need momentum. What else he said? He said, do you look back? They asked, do you look back on your inconsistencies? He said, for sure. Now here's the kicker right here. Dak is such a Jason Garrett's guy. This was his statement. He said, I'm motivated by the words of Coach Garrett. He said, I'm motivated by the word Coach Garrett speaks. When have Jason Garrett been able to motivate that team? When? He don't even look like the type of guy that can motivate a team. And you're motivated by Jason Garrett's words? Oh, dude, give me a break. So I don't know if you guys heard about the Troy Aikman comment. Troy Aikman ripped a new one in old Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys organization. So the question was asked to Troy Aikman, being asked about being a Cowboys GM. Troy Aikman responded and said, I doubt it. I think that's a real long shot. I believe that it's unlikely that Jerry will ever bring somebody in that can help this football team. In that regard, just because he's been stubborn and steadfast, and that he's the one in charge. I think in a lot of ways, until that changes, this team's going to have problems. And this is where he made this comment on radio station 1310 AM, The Ticket. It's the truth. Jerry Jones, once again, you found a way to ruin this Cowboys team. So, maybe if Jerry fired Jerry, maybe we'll have some success as a GM anyway. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But that's what's going on, man, with Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott, Jason Garrett, and Jerry Jones. Once again, welcome to the Shrine Circus. And that's what we are seeing. And what does it look like? What does the future look like? I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what the future looks like. A hope and a prayer. And then if we do make it to the playoff, guess what? We get thrown in the lion's den. So let's prepare for battle on Sunday at 3:25 as we sit back and keep our fingers crossed and hope that our Cowboys pull off a win. You never know. Go Cowboys. But anyway, that's my time. Thank y'all for watching. I know it's a little extended because I hadn't been on here in a while, but I'm going to get all this out so you guys can prepare for this game. But I thank you again for taking time and watching. And like I always say, don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. So let's make it count.